Hey, welcome back to another reading. I'm Soul Whispers Tarot, and this pick a card reading is how does this person really feel about you at this time? In this reading, we're going to be looking at the tarot, the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, and my newest oracle cards, which are called Our Eternal Love, which has a lot of channeled messages in them. And then we're going to be pulling messages out of the bag as well. So if you are looking to come into a twin flame union, or if you're wanting to manifest a soulmate, basically the love relationship, the soulmate, the soul connection that's for your highest good, then I highly recommend my meditation, which is called Twin Flame Union Alignment Chakra Healing. So in this chakra healing meditation, we look into each individual chakra and how to heal and clear out any blockages and imbalances that have been getting in the way of you aligning in that love vibration and aligning with your true soulmate. And I help you to cultivate strong self-esteem and self-love that then mirrors back to you. I help you to release any tendencies of chasing or any tendencies to have codependency. We really clear those out and really raise up your vibration, helping you come out of fear and coming into deep self-love. Basically clearing out anything that's been getting in the way of you becoming the vibrational match to really attract in twin flame union or soulmate union, the relationship that is for your highest good, the relationship that you're destined for. So that is called Twin Flame Union Alignment Chakra Healing. And that meditation, all the details are below this video in the description box, so please check that out. Okay, so in this reading we have 3 sets of cards. Set of cards number 1 is the rainbow crystal paperweight. Set of cards number 2 is the pink aura quartz point. And set of cards number 3 is the amber. So I'll give you a few moments to tune into the energies of the cards. It is fine to be drawn to more than one set of cards. And you can pause the video right now, but I'll also give you a few moments as well. Okay, so let's get into the reading. So welcome to set of cards number 1. You've chose the rainbow crystal paperweight. So how does this person truly feel about you? We've got the Mystic Monday Tarot, the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, and the Our Eternal Love Oracle cards, which is my newest set of cards that I've created, and they have channeled messages on them. And then we're going to be pulling out messages from the bag as well. So how does this person truly feel about you? There's the Knight of Swords, the 9 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, the Fool, and the Knight of Cups. Then we have, I'm sorry I've been foolish and taken you for granted. I regret hurting you. I don't know why, but I've always based my self-worth on what you think of me. Although we're from the same soul family, we're in totally different grades in our life lessons. I'm always talking about you to my friends. I'm afraid that you're making fun of me to your friends. And from the messages from the Divine Masculine cards we have, I'm always thinking about you. I'm here for you. Please be patient with me. Please listen. And I'm so excited. Okay. So how does this person truly feel about you? So for some of you, there may be like friends involved. You may have mutual friends, or you may have discussed this person a lot to your friends and they've discussed you a lot to their friends. And there's like, it may have created some awkwardness or some tension in your connection, because it may feel as though all eyes are on you and on your connection. So that's putting pressure on this person. I'm feeling like they're worried about what's going to happen because everyone's going to know about it. They may be worried about things not working out because then everyone will know what's happened. Okay. So how does this person feel about you? There's the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Cups. They feel deep, romantic feelings for you. But there's definitely like defenses up here with the Nine of Wands. And that's kind of leading to this energy of the Five of Cups, which is feeling as though there's been some kind of loss, or this person may be worried that there's going to be some kind of loss. But they're still holding out hope for you to get together in the future or things to improve. And there's the Fool. So that's all about taking a leap of faith. They really know that they have to get over their fears of being bold and taking action, basically. So it's interesting that there's the Knight of Swords at one end, the Knight of Cups at the other. So this is about passion. They want to communicate their truth, the truth about their feelings. They want to wear their heart on their sleeve. But they may have had fears about being open and vulnerable. And, you know, it's like the fears, and it's like they're worrying about a loss. They're worried about things going wrong. And so that's in the way of them taking that leap of faith. But that's what they want to do. They want to overcome their fears. I'm sorry I've been foolish and taken you for granted. I regret hurting you. So this person may have had difficulties coming out of their comfort zone. They may have felt a lot safer in the current dynamic or the past dynamic of your connection, where I feel there was possibly some communication from them about their feelings, or there was a situationship, but it wasn't like a full-on commitment, or it wasn't a full-on grounded relationship for many of you. And it's because of their fears. And there may also be other things in their life that are a complete struggle to them, things or people that they need to release. It could be negative mind patterns, a negative self-image that they need to release. And so for a long time they were caught up in that, and it's almost like they didn't fully notice your connection, or they didn't notice the opportunity that was right in front of their face, what you were offering them, or this relationship. I feel as though this relationship has had the potential to really uplift this person and help this person, but you know, everyone's got to help themselves. There's a feeling that this person wasn't helping themselves or didn't know how to help themselves, and so they had a resistance. They didn't feel ready to take that step to be more of their authentic self, or take up that sword and have healthy boundaries in their life in some kind of way. Like they were really struggling with that. But I feel as though for many of you, you were there for this person and you were kind of waiting for them to take that action, to make these changes in their life, or changes in their mindset, to do with like having more self-confidence or something like that. But I feel like this person, they took that for granted because they felt that you were always going to be there for them. And so that was kind of enabling them to procrastinate or refuse to do the healing work. I definitely feel there was like a soul calling for this person, calling this person forward. I feel like it's this person's life lesson. You know, they're supposed to learn to take that leap of faith without being overly cautious, because it's their cautiousness that's really held them back in their life, and especially within this connection. I feel like they're realizing that now. They feel like they've been foolish. There's the Fool card, which is interesting. But they feel foolish because they didn't take action, or they were afraid of appearing foolish if, you know, they took a leap off that cliff and fell flat on their face. So it's like self-esteem issues. They've been defensive. They've been like holding on to the reins of control, or, you know, believing that they're in control in this connection. They've been in resistance. They've been overly thinking things. They've been holding themselves back, because it's almost like with this Five of Cups, because it normally shows the person focused on 3 cups that are spilt over, and they don't realize there's still 2 cups standing up right behind them, which is like the Two of Cups card, the healthy relationship. It's almost like they're focusing on the spilt milk, focusing on what could go wrong, rather than taking up the potential and developing this connection further. And it's all fear-based. And they feel like they've been foolish because they let their fears get the better of them. I don't know why, but I've always based my self-worth on what you think of me. So yeah, this person has had major like worries and anxieties about your perception of them. Maybe they felt as though they could kind of control your perception of them from a distance, but if they got too close, you would see the real them kind of thing. And they were worried that you wouldn't like the real them, or what they had to offer you wasn't enough, or something like that. And so it's basically a fear of rejection, a fear of falling flat on their face or messing things up. This person may realize that they have this tendency to overthink things and then really talk themselves out of things. And so for some of them, they've been holding back because they fear getting close to you and then freaking out and then running away and then hurting you more, kind of thing. So they've kind of been keeping their distance, biding their time, because basically they don't feel ready at this time. That's what I'm feeling. But it's positive that the cards are moving more in the direction of the Fool, taking a leap of faith, and Knight of Cups, expressing their heartfelt emotions to you. And it may be because some kind of loss or some kind of ending within this connection has already happened, or is going to happen soon. The ending of an old dynamic that was unhealthy. Maybe you didn't have healthy boundaries in the past. Maybe you were subconsciously enabling this person because you were just hoping that they would pull through and work on their own confidence, but you realized that the longer you waited, the longer they just procrastinated and didn't take any action. So for some of you, maybe you are this Nine of Wands and you created healthy boundaries and you've kind of pushed this person away. And then they feel like there's been a loss, but really it's just a loss of the unhealthy dynamic from the past. And there is an opportunity for this connection to be healed, but they need to take the action. You know, they need to give 50-50. They need to meet you halfway, kind of thing. Although we're from the same soul family, we're in totally different grades in our life lessons. Okay, so this could indicate that you are from the same soul family, but for example, you may have incarnated on Earth more times than this person's incarnated on Earth. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but perhaps you've learned a lot more, you've had more experience on this Earth or something like that. And so you may see things more intuitively or more clearly. You know, you may see the bigger picture more clearly than what this person does. You know, for some of you, you may have even had a soul contract where you're supposed to help this person in certain ways. And, you know, they will be helping you in certain ways as well. You know, I don't mean to imply that this person isn't going to help you with your own spiritual path at all or anything like that. I feel like a lot of you have learned major lessons from this person about those healthy boundaries, about knowing your worth, knowing you deserve the best. You know, some of you may now be like, you cannot enter my domain unless you're speaking your truth, you know, unless you're actually doing what you need to be doing. I'm always talking about you to my friends. So some of you may be aware of this, some of you may not be. I feel like it's positive talk. I feel as though they've been seeking advice from their friends, or it's almost like their emotions are like building up within them so much because they've been holding back their emotions and expressing them to you, that they've been spending a lot of their time like talking about you to their friends instead, trying to like ease off that tension. And yeah, I'm seeing this I'm so excited card. It's like they're talking about you in a really animated kind of way. They're kind of excitable when they're talking about you. And I feel like it's the same for you, because they have, I'm afraid you're making fun of me to your friends. So they know that you're talking about them to your friends. And when I see this card, to me it's like they're afraid that you're annoyed that they weren't taking a leap of faith in the past. They're worried that you're maybe not making fun of them, but you're sort of complaining to your friends about their actions or something like that. It's almost like they're worried to make a move because, like I said at the beginning, it's almost like all eyes are on your connection, or there's a lot of people that know what's going on, and so everyone's kind of curious, and it's adding a lot of pressure. I'm always thinking about you. So you're always on this person's mind. They can't stop thinking about you, is what I'm feeling. And they can't stop thinking about their regrets for hurting you, or leaving you out in the cold or something like that. They wish they could turn back time. I feel like this person has experienced a lot of epiphanies, perhaps since some kind of separation between you. Like they're seeing things clearly. They realise how they took you for granted, or they took this connection for granted, and they're wanting to make changes now. So I'm here for you. That's very interesting. You may have felt as though this person wasn't truly here for you in the past. You may have felt like you were always there for them, but then they were turning their back. They had certain things in their life that were a distraction to them, something involving pain. Like I said, this normally shows them focusing on 3 cups that are spilt over, the contents is lost. So that could be anything really. It could be childhood wounds, it could be a previous relationship, or something that's, you know, it could just be their pessimistic mindset, seeing the glass not just half empty, but completely empty. You know, not knowing their worth, basically. And that blocking them from really seeing their worth, the truth of this connection, you know, because they don't feel lovable. They may have worried that your feelings for them weren't true, or this connection was too good to be true, or something like that. And we have, please be patient with me. So, and we have, please listen as well. So they're really wanting to communicate their truth. They may be wanting to come forward with an explanation about their actions in the past, or why they didn't take action. They're hoping that you're going to be open and receptive and compassionate when it comes to their difficulties and what's happened. They're hoping you're going to give them a second chance. And yeah, here was that I'm so excited as well. I feel this person is definitely wanting a second chance here. So let's look into these messages. How does this person truly feel about you at this time? Trying to look strong. Okay, so that's really interesting. The camera's kind of annoying me. It's not automatically focusing. But they're trying to look strong. That's really interesting because there is this Knight of Swords here and the Nine of Wands. This is like the Wounded Warrior card. And, you know, the Knight of Swords is like a warrior as well. In the tradition of tarot, it shows him going into battle, like rapidly, like racing towards a battle with a lot of confidence. So this person, they may have been trying to look strong by withholding their emotions, having a poker face, because they may have had this belief throughout their life that in order to appear more attractive, they have to appear strong. You know, it may have been a family dynamic where emotions weren't talked about, or emotions were seen as a weakness, or this may be what they experienced with their friends, like it wasn't easy for them to talk about their emotions throughout their life in some kind of way. And so they've had this poker face on, or they may have had this belief that they've got to play hard to get because of a fear that if they wore their heart on their sleeve with you, then you could take their heart and crush their heart and take them for granted. So it's like they've been afraid that you would take them for granted. So they tried to withhold their emotions. But ironically, I feel like that's what made a lot of you kind of give up on this person or give up on this connection, because it was going a bit too far in terms of the poker face. And you know, all you wanted from this person was like this Knight of Cups, wearing their heart on their sleeve, being open and upfront about how they feel about you. So how do they feel about you? I'm sorry. So yeah, I'm sorry has come out twice now. They're realizing the mistakes that they made. They may have got carried away with this image that they were portraying. They may have felt like it was working because perhaps in the past it was making you chase them, and they kind of felt more and more secure in that. So, you know, they didn't want to suddenly stop doing that and then you get bored with them. So I reckon this person has experienced previous situations where they have like given someone their heart and then that other person took them for granted. So it's almost like this person has been adamant that they're never going to let that happen to themselves again. And so, yeah, they've always tried to hold on to the power in this relationship by having you express your emotions, but then them holding back for the most part. You know, it may not have been entirely, but definitely this person wanting to have the upper hand, not to be like a nasty person, but literally because their fears have been so strong. Leap of faith. So that is extremely interesting, seeing as we have the Fool card, which is all about the leap of faith as well. So I feel like this person, they realize that they didn't take a leap of faith in the past, and they realize that's what has created this connection coming crashing down in the past. So now they are wanting to take that leap of faith. They are wanting to take up the Two of Cups that are standing upright, express their emotions to you, overcome this tendency to put on that poker face. Like, they literally may not have realized what you truly needed from them. Like, they may have realized on an intellectual level, but it may not have fully, the message may not have fully got through to them on all levels. Karmic contract. So this is all about lessons, so that, you know, this person may have withheld their emotions for such a long time. For some of you, it may have caused you to chase this person and subconsciously place your sense of self-worth on what they were doing or what they weren't doing. You know, you may have ignored your own needs and settled for less. You may have swept a lot of things under the rug and denied those things under the name of unconditional love, but you weren't fully in that self-love. You didn't have those healthy boundaries in the past. So I feel that's definitely part of that karmic contract with this person, for you to finally say or realize enough is enough, and realize your own worth and realize that you deserve the best. And then I feel like that is the key to the transformation that's occurring in this connection. But I also feel it's part of the karmic contract, the lessons for this person to realize that they've actually got to take a leap of faith. They've actually got to be true to themselves and true to you if they want this connection to develop. So one final message. Reach out. Wow. So yeah, there's leap of faith, the fall, and they are going to reach out. They know they have to reach out. They know the ball's in their court. They may have been overly dependent upon you reaching out all the time to make them feel secure, but they know they've got to give 50-50, meet you halfway. So you will be hearing from this person. So, you know, that's an amazing message. So please check out my other videos. I have tons on here about how does this person truly feel about you, what they want to happen in your connection, what is going to happen within your connection. And also please check out my twin flame chakra meditation. It's called Twin Flame Union Chakra Healing Meditation. That will really help you to clear out your blocks and come into really deep self-love and get into alignment with that love vibration, so that love on the outside reflects back to you. It helps you to do your own internal healing work so that you're ready to truly receive love. So that could be with this person, or, you know, if it's part of the soul contract, it could manifest someone else, you know. So please check that out. All the details for that chakra meditation are below this video in the description box. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the next set of cards. So welcome to set of cards number 2. You've chosen the pink aura quartz point. So how does this person truly feel about you? You have the Morgan Greer Tarot, the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, and my newest oracle cards, which are called Our Eternal Love, with channeled messages on. Wow. Sorry. Just noticing that there's a mark on this card. Okay. And then we'll be looking into these messages here as well. So how does this person truly feel about you at this time? There's the Two of Swords, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the World, the Ten of Swords in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles. I've always loved you. It's just misalignment. I became obsessed with you and it scared me. I was too afraid to tell you how much I love you. You've made me closer to spirit, and for that I am eternally grateful. And I know we've shared many past lives together. I'm struggling to open up to you. You are my rock. What does she think of me? My heart is broken, and this is the real me. Okay, so how does this person truly feel about you? Okay, so they definitely feel obsessed with you. They became obsessed with you and it scared them. They became afraid with the realization that you hold so much power over them, or, you know, they've given away their personal power to you because they're so worried about what you think of them. You know, what does she think of me? Or this can be, what does he think of me? You know, however it resonates. But they've given away their power to you by placing their sense of self-worth on your shoulders. Obviously that's happened subconsciously, but that means that it feels like a life or death situation to them. If you love them and come towards them and accept and approve of them, or whether you leave them, abandon them, reject them. So intense rejection fears, intense abandonment fears, and that's depicted here with the 10 of Swords in reverse. So they're afraid of feeling heartbroken by you. In reverse, it's like their internal feelings. This is the card of being stabbed in the back, betrayal. It's a card about endings, hitting rock bottom. So in reverse, it's saying that's what they're worried is going to happen. And so I feel like this massive fear is what has been the major factor in causing all these complications from their side anyway. You know, I'm just focusing on their energy in this reading, but it could be a mirrored dynamic here, where you may have the same fears and blocks that they do as well. I've always loved you is just misalignment. So that means it's, you know, to do with the law of attraction. It's to do with the alignment or the misalignment of your energies. So I feel like this person is in a place of fear because they don't feel good enough. They're afraid of rejection. This connection is definitely triggering some childhood wounds, is what I'm feeling. Because there's this 6 of Pentacles in reverse as well. So they may have felt throughout their life that other people were getting the love, the approval, the attention. They may have felt like they were invisible in their life in some kind of ways. I definitely feel like they have experienced like intense emotional pain, most likely from childhood, but also previous relationships. Maybe when they're at school or something like that, they felt like an outsider. They didn't feel worthy enough. So they learnt to subconsciously compare themselves to others. And that's what has led to them feeling that they're unworthy, basically. And so because they felt like an outsider, they haven't felt good enough. I feel like this person may be an introvert. They may have retreated into themselves or kept themselves to themselves in certain ways. Or, you know, it doesn't necessarily have to mean that. This person could have a lot of friends, but it's like deep down they're still holding these negative beliefs that they're not good enough compared to other people. And so because they didn't feel good enough, I feel like they tried to withdraw. They tried to go unseen in some kind of way, because it may have felt safer to them to retreat back into themselves and kind of hide away from the world and become almost like invisible, because, you know, they didn't feel like they had much self-esteem to stick up for themselves or anything like that. So they could have even experienced bullying or something like that. But, you know, when someone tries to become invisible, it feels safer on one hand, but on the other hand, then you kind of feel like no one notices you, no one cares about you. So I definitely feel for some of you this is the case with this person. And then when they met you, when you saw them and you really liked them, or you even loved them. For some of you, it may have even felt like a soulmate connection, love at first sight. You know, you are the one that really noticed them. Not only noticed them, but you're the one who's noticed the like pure beauty of their soul kind of thing. And in a way, it's almost like there's two of swords. It's like almost like a double-edged sword, or there's two aspects of this. When you truly notice them, it's like on the one hand, this is what made them feel so incredible, so amazing, so uplifted. They feel like you know them like no one else knows them, and this is definitely what helps them to love themselves more and really love you as well. But then on the other hand, there's all these fears. You know, they try to retreat from the world. They try to remain hidden. You know, for some it could be hidden behind a mask. They may appear to be an extrovert, but they're hiding their vulnerabilities and their true self behind a mask. So on that hand, it's like this connection has really triggered their fears and their vulnerabilities, because you are seeing them for who they truly are. You are noticing them in a time where they were trying to protect themselves and go unnoticed. And so it's like they're in this Two of Swords. They're confused. They don't know what to do, because they have this deep love and then a deep fear as well. A deep fear of history repeating itself and them being left out in the cold. They may have a fear that you're going to leave them and give all your attention to someone else, or get with someone else. And so they're like really afraid of that heartbreak. So that's really been holding them back, is what I'm feeling. And so it's come across as, or it's, you know, manifested as this person not giving equally to what you may have been giving them in the past, because this is an equal, an unequal imbalance basically when it comes to give and take. So you, for example, may have been showering this person with your time, your attention, and your consideration of them, always considering them. Whereas I feel like this person's always been like at a step back, always been at arm's length, and always been looking at you and this connection from a distance kind of thing. Like they've not allowed you to get close. And it may have created this unhealthy, imbalanced dynamic. Like the more that they were kind of just on the fence, the more you may have been trying to prove yourself to them. And it's interesting because they see you as, with this world card, I'm seeing it as they see you as their world. Because there is the I became obsessed with you and it scared me. So I feel like they've placed so much emphasis on your connection and on you. They may have like centered their world around you, although on the surface you wouldn't know it. Because they've been reluctant, to say the least, when it comes to being open in expressing their emotions, is what I'm feeling. I was too afraid to tell you how much I love you. And it's because they felt like you had so much power over them. You could crush them at any moment. So they may have come across as very cold. They may have made you feel as though you were left out in the cold. They may have left you feeling rejected or abandoned. This person fears rejection, so they don't open their heart. And it's like you fear rejection because they're not opening their heart. Knight of Pentacles. This is the slowest of the knights. I do feel behind the surface this person has been, it's almost like they're trying to build up this connection. You know, even if it's been years, it's like they may have kept you at a distance because they felt safer in you kind of chasing them, or you putting in so much time and effort. And the more and more that's happened, the more and more they kind of felt secure in your feelings for them. They basically wanted to hold back so that you would invest more in them by giving and doing more. But then for some of you, it came to a stage where you realize that you can't just keep giving and giving when it's totally imbalanced. And then you felt rejected. Some of you held back, or pulled back, because there's the world. There's been some kind of conclusion, some kind of ending, I feel, within the old dynamic, basically. You realised your worth. You may have realised that the more you were kind of over giving to this person, the more it was making them feel secure in a way, but the more it was enabling them to stay in their comfort zone and just kind of observe this connection from afar. But yeah, I definitely feel like with the Knight of Pentacles, they have been heavily investing in your connection. But yeah, I feel like they were kind of doing that in an unhealthy way, where they were trying to get you to prove over and over and over and over and over again your feelings for them. So this person's been basing their sense of security and self-worth on your investment, how much you're invested in them. But they need to find that self-esteem. They need to find that inner security. They need to overcome their insecurities within themselves rather than becoming too dependent upon you to provide them with a false sense of stability. And by that I mean, anytime we look outside of ourselves to someone else to determine if we feel good enough or not, whenever we leave someone else in charge of our self-worth, then it's a false sense of stability, because if that person changed their actions, or if that person moved away from us, suddenly we would feel totally like our foundation has been ripped out from beneath us. We need to create that firm foundation of security and a healthy relationship within ourselves. I've always loved you. It's just misalignment. So that's basically saying this person's always loved you, but it's just been their fears, their lack of self-love that's put them in a lower vibration. They cannot reach up. They cannot rise up and align with that love vibration if they're not in a place of self-love. If they don't have a healthy relationship with themselves, they cannot have a healthy relationship with you or anyone. So it's about that misalignment energetically. And again, we're just focusing on their energy in this reading, but this could be happening on your end as well. So they became obsessed with you. It becomes a roller coaster when we place our sense of self-worth on someone else's shoulders. If they do something that we don't want them to do, we come crashing down. We take it personally. We feel like it's a blow to our self-esteem. If the person does what we want, we feel on such a high. We feel so good about ourselves, and it really lifts us up. But, that's basing our sense of self-worth on someone else's shoulders, so it creates an up and down. And, whatever we focus on, whatever we believe is what we manifest. So if we don't feel good enough, then we're going to be manifesting actions from the other person that make us feel like we're not good enough. And this roller coaster, creates through an obsession. It's like, when am I next going to get the high kind of thing? And then worrying about the low. I was too afraid to tell you how much I love you. You've made me closer to spirit, and for that I'm eternally grateful. So they see incredible meaning within your connection because they've experienced a deep spiritual awakening through this relationship. Through you, it's like the gateway to the divine. A lot of awakening is happening. So it could have been a head versus heart thing for them as well. Like the intuition was opening up but that was threatening to kind of take the leadership role within themselves over their ego, the false identity kind of thing. And that's scary for the ego to take the back seat. And so that created a lot of confusion for them as well. The ego tries to confuse us and create fear so that we stay within a comfort zone and, become dependent upon the ego's thoughts kind of thing. I know we've shared many past lives together. So yeah, there's definitely had that spiritual awakening. They feel your connection on a deep level. They feel that you're soulmates or twin flames, or they just feel as though they've known you before. And this connection is a strong catalyst for them to remember their true self, the soul identity, the true identity, rather than the ego identity, which is often a collection of false beliefs and fears, which really limits us. I'm struggling to open up to you. But you are my rock. So yeah, I do feel like you have helped this person to have more self-esteem. But yeah, they did become too dependent upon your validation. But now they need to take the steps to really believe their worth for themselves. And you've helped them with that, and they are getting there. But they need to have that self-love in order to have faith and take a leap of faith, basically. And, not be so caught up in worrying about what you think of them all the time, because that's really been holding them back. Yeah, my heart is broken. And we have, this is the real me. So I definitely feel like something happened, a tower moment, or things fell apart, or the unhealthy dynamic fell apart between you, because they weren't being their true, authentic self. And then they feel that made you feel heartbroken. And then when you moved away from them, that's what's made them feel heartbroken. But it's led to a lot of epiphanies on both sides, like you creating healthy boundaries and them realizing that they can't just depend upon you to put in all the work to make them feel good enough. Because if they want this connection to develop between you both, they need to meet you halfway kind of thing. So let's look into these messages and hear, how do they really feel about you at this time? Social media. So they're definitely looking at your social media, or they're spying on you in some kind of way. They may have been talking to you in the past through social media, but then not making it fully real in the 3D, in day-to-day life. They could have been sharing things on their social media for you to see, and vice versa. Basically, I feel like the comfort zone became social media and like written messages rather than face-to-face. So how do they feel about you? Shy. So this is really interesting, because that's what I was talking about at the start. I feel like this is someone who has been an introvert, or in order to survive in social situations, they put on a mask. They played a role to hide the real selves behind. But yeah, they felt shy. So it's like they fell in love with you from afar. And they just were like a tortoise in the shell, or a hedgehog rolling up in its ball. Like a hedgehog caught in headlights sort of thing, rolling up in the ball and retreating. Karmic contract. So that basically means that there's been lessons between you both. Like this person, their lessons is to basically take a leap of faith, come out of overthinking things, coming into a place of self-love. Your karma may have been to create healthy boundaries, know your worth in terms of realizing you don't have to keep proving yourself over and over again and overextending yourself. Realizing that you deserve love, you deserve a relationship where both people put in 100% on all levels. How does this person feel about you? In the palm of your hand. So yeah, they feel their heart is in the palm of your hand and you could crush them at any moment. They've given away their personal power to you. I feel like you both did that. That's the major karmic lesson, to not base your sense of self-worth on the other person or anyone outside of yourselves. It's all about coming back to the self-love, the realization of your worth within. So one final message. Hoping and praying. So this person is hoping and praying for a second chance. They're hoping and praying that things are going to work out between you. I feel like they spent a long time at a distance hoping and praying, but yeah, they're one of their major lessons here is that they need to just take action and not overly think about, what could happen. So please check out my other readings. I have loads on here about how does this person truly feel about you, what do they want to happen, and what is going to happen. So look at my playlists, and also please check out my Twin Flame Union Alignment Chakra Healing Meditation. So in that chakra healing meditation, I really get you into alignment with that love vibration. Everything I've been talking about, how to really love yourself and stop giving away your personal power, knowing that only you determine your self-worth, and therefore coming into that vibration. So due to the law of attraction, that self-love, that love vibration mirrors back to you. So that could mean that you manifest union with this person, but it could be for some of you, if it's part of your soul contract that you have a different soulmate, then it can align you with that person, whoever you're meant to end up with, whoever is for your highest good. So that is the Twin Flame Union Alignment Chakra Meditation, and all the details for that are below this video in the description box. So thank you so much, and I'll move on to the final set of cards. So welcome to set of cards number 3. You've chosen the Amber. So how does this person truly feel about you? You have the Mermaid Tarot, the messages from the Divine Masculine cards, and Our Eternal Love with channeled messages on. And then we're going to be pulling messages out of the bag as well. So how does this person really feel about you at this time? There's the 5 of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups in reverse, the 4 of Swords, the Chariot, and the 10 of Cups. I don't know why, but I always doubt your love for me. Past life karma is causing a deep rejection fear I'm not even consciously aware of. I'm so afraid of rejection that I haven't taken a risk to be with you. I just want to be with you, period. I just feel so intimidated by our connection. I screwed up. I'm stuck. I'm scared of losing you. I'm in a dark place, and how do I move forward? So there's really intense energies here. How does this person feel about you? They feel as though they've screwed up, and it's to do with them feeling stuck, like they didn't take action or something like that. They're scared of losing you, and they're in a dark place because of that, and they're wondering how to move forward. And we start off with the Five of Pentacles as well. And so this is that card about feeling pushed away, or feeling like there's a separation, feeling like an outsider, feeling left out in the cold. And there's the Knight of Cups in reverse. I feel it's because they felt this deep magnetic attraction to you. They felt a lot of passion. They felt extremely uplifted by your connection. But I feel as though this person took you for granted, or they took the connection for granted. When they first met you, they didn't realize the true significance of your connection, or how significant you would become to them. And so initially I feel as though they played with fire. They played, they didn't take your connection seriously. So this person may have been in and out of your life, or, they may have become kind of arrogant and been like, yeah, you really like me. And then, they took you for granted, or they may have taken advantage of how much you liked them, but then they weren't taking it as seriously, because they weren't really expecting to meet someone where they felt deep emotions for. This could have been someone that wasn't looking for anything serious. They may have been dating lots of people, or a bit of a player kind of energy maybe. A bit of a charmer basically. This person may have been so caught up in some illusion that they'd created around themselves, like, that arrogance. They'd created a false identity, but they'd started to believe it even within themselves. So it's saying that deep down that they didn't truly feel confident, and so they tried to reinvent themselves and create a persona, almost like they were deluding themselves as well as other people around them into feeling like this confident, attractive, maybe some even a womanizer or something like that. Maybe not that extreme for some, but yeah, they'd got caught up in their ego basically. It was like their defense mechanism on a deep subconscious level for them to believe and make other people believe that they were more confident and attractive than what they actually felt. So there's this sense that this person was self-inflated. They were in their ego, and then your connections made them come crashing down because they played with fire. They didn't take your connection seriously. And then when they thought that you would keep chasing them. They thought that they, didn't really have to put in much work, because initially, you may have showed them intense, you may have chased them intensely, or, you've given them so much time, attention. Basically, they mistook your kindness for weakness in the past. And then I feel as though they fell off that pedestal. They fell off the horse, You'd put them on a pedestal, and then you just realised that they were taking you for granted and they weren't treating you right. And so you withdrew from the connection. And they weren't expecting that. This may be someone that's used to a lot of people chasing after them because they're a charmer. Excuse me, but it's all an illusion. This person, I feel they keep people at arm's length. They're very good at making people chase them because they give false promises. I feel like they treated you the same way as they've treated other people. And you may have felt like you were just another number to them, and they weren't really recognizing the real you or seeing the real you. You may have felt like they were using you for sex or something like that, or to be keep inflating their own ego. But many of you wised up, and then now they've fallen off the horse, and there's this Four of Swords energy where they're trying to recover from this heartbreak. They weren't expecting to feel heartbreak. But this has really silenced them. I'm seeing this seaweed over their mouth, almost like it's gagging them from being able to speak their truth, or they're lost for words, Spirit is saying. They cannot speak because they're lost for words, because they weren't expecting this. There's 3 swords above him. 3 of Swords is the heartbreak card. So they've experienced heartbreak. There's the Ace of Swords here as well. It's like they want to communicate their truth, but they don't know what to say. This person may be so used to having shallow relationships, like they know how to play that role. They know how to play with that mask on and play that character. But when it comes to their true emotions, it's like they're lost for words. They don't know what to say to you. Because, it's too real for them, and it really intimidates them. I just feel so intimidated by our connection. I'm so afraid of rejection that I haven't taken a risk to be with you. So yeah, this person is so afraid of rejection. That's why, before they even met you, they learnt to come across as cocky and a bit arrogant, and then, ironically, that's made a lot of people flock to them, and that's given them a false sense of validation. But they need to have that self-love, self-validation, self-worth. This person is afraid of rejection to the point of, that's why they had like shallow relationships in the past. But you've really knocked them off their feet. You've really surprised them. They're shocked, like they weren't expecting to have anyone be able to affect them so emotionally. This is their way of having their guard up in the past by putting on that mask and kind of having some sort of connection with other people without actually having to be open and vulnerable and have true, deep, emotional intimacy. Like this person is afraid of that vulnerability. They feel much safer in that mask. But with you, it's like they know now that they cannot be an idiot. They cannot be foolish about this. And so they're thinking about you all the time. They want to race towards you and have this 10 of Cups, the happy relationship. And so this person, they may race towards you. But I do feel with the Knight of Cups in reverse, they do want something real with you, but I feel they're not at the maturity level to fully be able to give that to you. And so they may be racing towards you, but then their fears come up, and then they may be racing away from you again. I don't know why, but I always doubt your love for me. So they've experienced a lot of people chasing them, and they realise that these people aren't chasing them because they're in love with them. This person realizes that people have chased them because they're infatuated. These other people have believed they're in love, but really it's subconsciously they're chasing someone emotionally unavailable because they have wounds, and it's like people are trying to prove things to themselves. They're trying to prove that they're worthy by getting someone emotionally unavailable to commit to them. And so this person realizes that then people aren't chasing them because they truly love them. It's because these people are trying to subconsciously heal their abandonment and rejection wounds. And so this person is afraid that you don't truly love them and that you're doing the same and just trying to chase them to prove that you are lovable. And, you know, if you get them to turn around and commit to you, they're worried that you're subconsciously trying to settle some childhood wounds rather than it being about genuine love. And so they're doubting that you truly love them. So they're afraid of coming forward in case you break their heart. Past life karma is causing a deep rejection fear I'm not even consciously aware of. So the reason they've been acting the way that they are in their life at this time is because they have past life karma. They have felt deep rejection in their past lives in all kinds of different ways. And that rejection, fear and wound has bled through into this lifetime. And so this person has got a life lesson about learning how to know their own worth. And, you know, they're at this stage where they're not knowing their self-worth at this time. Your connection is triggering up these wounds. It's like a catalyst so that the healing can start to happen. But I have to be honest and say I feel like it's going to take this person a long time. I'm so afraid of rejection that I haven't taken a risk to be with you. So yeah, this rejection fear is very strong within this person. I do feel that they're kind of lacking in maturity. They have a really unhealthy relationship with themselves and with other people. So I feel that they're not capable of having a healthy relationship with you. Like they wouldn't even know what that looked like, really. They don't have any experience or understanding of that. I just want to be with you, period. So yeah, they want to be with you. But I feel like their intimidation and the fact that they have so much to learn, I feel like that is going to get in the way of them actually taking action in a healthy way. They may continue to be in and out of your life, caught between love and fear because of a major misunderstanding or, you know, not being able to see, not having the maturity to see things clearly and take healthy action. I screwed up, so they know that they made a mistake. They do have regrets about that, but I'm stuck as well. I do feel like they are stuck. And, you know, it's going to take this person a long time to heal themselves. I feel like this person's only really going to have a healthy relationship with themselves in their later years, probably like in their 60s, like upwards. I'm scared of losing you. I'm in a dark place. So yeah, they're in a dark place. It's going to take a long time, years, I feel, to be able to fully move out of that. How do I move forward? So let's look into these messages here. How do they feel about you? Controlled. Wow. So yeah, this is someone that always wants to be in control. And then they feel like you have so much power over them that they feel controlled by this connection. And in a way, that's kind of like messing with their ego. Like their ego wants to believe that they're always going to be in control. No one's going to make me become emotionally unstable. I'm not going to get attached. Like this person has this false belief that it's a strength to remain unattached. In terms of never like really showing true emotions, never being vulnerable. So they feel controlled by this, and there's a part of them that's trying to rebel against that. You're incredible. So yeah, they weren't expecting to feel so deeply about anyone like they feel about you. They really do see that you're incredible. I feel like they're intimidated by you because they see that you're more mature than they are. They see that you see beyond their masks and wounds and the games that they play. They know that their games don't work on you anymore, and that makes them feel kind of immature and embarrassed that you can see past their games, whereas a lot of other people can't. They can't pull the wool over your eyes anymore. Denial. So yeah, they're in denial of their emotions. Like I said, it's like their ego's trying to rebel against their feelings, trying to pretend that they're still in control, trying to pretend they don't have these feelings for you when they do deep down. So this person is fighting their feelings, fighting this connection, fighting to stay in control. Desire. I just want to be with you, period. And there's desire. So yeah, this person may have come in and out of your life in a physical way, in a sexual way. They have a lot of desires for you in that way. They have a deep desire to be with you, but they're denying these desires. One final message. 2 want to come out. Misaligned. Healing. Okay, so there's a misalignment here. You know, this is about the law of attraction. They're not in a place of self-love. They don't have a healthy relationship with themselves, so they can't have a healthy relationship with you. You're out of alignment. Healing. I would say this is more, there is healing going on within this person and within you, but I would say this is more about lessons that you're learning from this person. I have to be honest and say that for most of you, I feel like this person isn't the person that you're meant to be with. I feel it's more about the lessons, and what you learn from this is going to be very healing for you. I do feel like this misaligned message is saying that you're incompatible, or, you know, it's just not the right person for you in the long run. So please check out my other readings. I have tons on here. And please check out my meditation, Twin Flame Union, Chakra Healing. And that will really help you to align into deep self-love, knowing your worth, having those healthy boundaries, truly surrendering to the divine, so that the person you're destined to be with, your true soulmate, comes into your life. For some, it could be that you align with this person, but the meditation, you know, it will align you with the person for your highest good, your soulmate that you're destined for. So that is called Twin Flame Union Alignment Chakra Healing Meditation. And all the details for that are below this video in the description box. So please check that out. And thank you so much. Take care. Bye.